think it's extremely important because in a national security perspective, this man was key to the whole planning of the Mumbai attack. He was sitting in the US and he was the enabler for those terrorists on the ground. He was the enabler for David Headley. He was the via media with which Pakistan ISI was talking to Headley through Rana because they couldn't talk directly from Pakistan, right? They couldn't talk to Headley because we would intercept him. So in terms of the details, he is extremely important because all this is now going to come out publicly. If we have recorded tapes of this, great. If we don't, it's still okay. In terms of otherwise, I would say that in terms of US cooperation, I think to my knowledge, this is the first time we are getting extradition of such a vital terrorist who did one of the worst terrorist attacks ever recorded, who was instrumental in one of the worst. So that is huge. That is counterterrorism, cooperation. It's not just intel sharing. It's not just sort of giving public speeches in the UN. It's not just giving, sort of giving sympathy messages. This is actual sharing. And I must congratulate both sides for the kind of work they've put in. The main challenge was that all this planning started somewhere in 2001, 2002, and we had no idea. And this Headley was at least till 2002, David Headley was an agent of the Drug Enforcement Agency. So I don't know where the information fell through. How did we not have early warning that they are planning this, but we didn't? So that is a problem. It happens. I mean, sometimes you have one agency doesn't talk to the other, all that happens. So but from 2009 onwards, when they were first arrested, I think we've had a fair degree of cooperation initially. Now, in the last 2 years, a year or so, I think the cooperation has been far better because we were given only limited access to interrogate David Headley. We were not given full access. Now, this is, like I said, this is what cooperation looks like. And that is what the US court has said. The Justice Department has said that we are extraditing him so that future terrorists will understand that you cannot get away with such acts. So I think that's a very, very important statement. Politically, I think you have to give a huge amount of credit to Prime Minister Modi. There's no two ways on this. It was his, personal rapport with President Trump during his first term. His rapport, we got along very well with President Biden as well when the previous presidency was there. And of course, right now there is this sense between these two leaders. And I remember President Trump saying at some time that Prime Minister Modi is a very, very determined man. He's not the kind to give way. So once that political setting is there, then the agencies work far better. Agencies, the diplomats, every else have to work under that political umbrella. So that is how the system works. For example, in Bangladesh, you have a terrible situation, so you can't have any amount of coordination with, say, the border forces. For example, I'm just giving you an example. So the political setting has been, I think, dealt extremely well by this particular Modi and his cabinet members. And of course, our ambassadors there, including Ambassador Shringla, there were a bunch of people who are involved in this, who were patiently sort of chipping away at any resistance that there was to getting this man back. And getting this man back is vital for us to get closure on the worst terrorist attack we ever experienced. Yeah, of course it will. I mean, the whole network of the mysterious Sajid Mir, we still don't have exact idea who he is. They say first he died. Then they said, no, actually he's been arrested after the Financial Action Task Force came to Pakistan and started turning the screws on. They said, no, actually we've arrested him and he's been sentenced to 15 years in jail. So there is all this for Pakistan's own sake. It is better that it uses the trial of Tahawur Rana to punish everybody involved in Pakistan. They are capable of it. They are capable of very good investigation. In fact, again, when the political relations between the two countries were okay, with Nawaz Sharif and Prime Minister Modi being on a decent wicket, There was an extremely good investigation done by the police officers under the orders of a high court. So they had arrested about 7 people. They identified a bunch of things, including where the equipment came from, the shell, the casings of explosive use. They did all that. They have the skills. The point is whether the Pakistan army will allow it. I mean, let's put the present civilian dispensation aside. Their powers are extremely limited. But I would, if I were to advise somebody in Pakistan, I would say cooperate with India to the full, and you also lay this Mumbai ghost to rest in your own country for your own good, not for anything else. He himself, Hawar Rana himself went to Ahmedabad. He was here 1 week before the 26/11 attacks took place. Amazing. I mean, that was, for me, was shocking. And he traveled here. Headley, in fact, did a recce of the National Defense College in Delhi. So they also did something on, I think, a number of military installations. So those facts also, as you very rightly pointed out, those facts also we need to pull out from him. But the question is how much this man, who is a Canadian citizen, will cooperate. You can get him on certain charges like providing false information, which he did to get Headley in, for providing assistance to a terrorist attack. He's done for. Under Indian law, he provided assistance to one of the worst terrorist attacks in the world, period. That's it. So he gets punished. After that, since he has not pleaded, turned approver even in the US, he's not going to turn approver here. So, but as far as we are concerned, we have the evidence. I think we have enough evidence to indict him on those 2 counts. And that's enough to put him away for life. And the NSA is a past master at this. I mean, he's one of our, what shall I say? He is, well, brilliant. So his view, his guidance, his leadership is vital. And the National Security Council Secretariat was created for this purpose, to bring together everybody on one table. So it's not just one ministry doing something, X doing something, C doing something. It's all brought together towards a definite objective. And that is what the NSC has done. So I think the NSA's role has been huge, not just in this, but in various other areas of cooperation with the US. So that is something I think we hopefully will carry on, because his view after decades of experience, the views of the IB chief, the DG NIA, who has on-ground experience in the Mumbai attacks, these are all people with solid knowledge of what is going on. So I think we've been very lucky.